Rouse's Markets is voted best grocery store in New Orleans, best grocery store in Baton Rouge, Mississippi, Gulf Coast, Thibodeau, Houma, Hammond, Lake Charles, Mobile, year after year. Thank you for choosing us best grocery store on the Gulf Coast. Number one. Thank you.
Thank you.
The number one grocery store
In Mississippi, Alabama,
Louisiana. 1 million customers a week can't be wrong. Welcome to Rouse's.
I want to tell you a little bit about why we're here, okay? My name is Janae. I work at the district attorney's office. And our district attorney, Mr. Joe Waits, has a heart for kids. He loves kids. That's why we get to come and do Project Lead with you guys, right, when you're in your 5th grade. So Mr. Waits and Mr. Melvin Adams have been friends for a long time. Mr. Melvin used to come and tour schools, motivational speaking. He's awesome. We've missed him for a few years, but we're very excited to have him back. Former NBA player, Globetrotter, which is just a tiny piece of his life, okay? So he's going to tell you a lot about him, some about his story, and he's going to speak some words of wisdom and motivation for you. So you ready? Yeah. Okay, be prepared to laugh, because you're going to do that, okay? But also be prepared to listen for the message, all right? Cool.
What's up? How's everybody doing? Man, thank you for letting me be here. This is awesome. I want to thank Mother Teresa, Proverbs 31 woman right here. How many of y'all here, real quick, how many of you here have a dream? How many of you have a dream? That's what I'm talking about. So I believe that when your parents gave birth to you, God had a destiny and a purpose for your life. So I'll tell you my story. Number one, I have 2 boys. My oldest son is 21. When he was 11, he came to me and said, Daddy, I want to play football. I said, hopefully not the NFL, because that stands for not for long. I put my 11-year-old with these 14-year-olds, because if you want to be great, you got to hang around people that are better than you. How many of y'all believe that? So my youngest son, he was 8. He wasn't into sports. He was into Legos. Everything is awesome. He was that kid. He gets distracted. So I put him on special teams. Special teams in football is 22 guys trying to knock each other's head off. You know what I mean? Yeah. So across from Silas was a 6'4", 200-pound 14-year-old. And I told my wife, said, baby, they're going to kill Silas. So they blew the whistle. The guy took off. His lips were so big, it looked like 2 pancakes fighting over syrup. He hit Silas, and all I heard Silas say was, Daddy! I could only see out of one eye. I said, I know, but get off the field. He said, Daddy, I can only see out of one eye. I said, Silas, calm down. I squared his shoulders, I got his helmet, I pulled it to the front, because he was looking through his ear hole the whole time. And what I want you to do today, I believe that God wants you to dream big. See, I grew up as a kid. My dad was 6'6". My brothers are 6'8", 6'7", 6'2". My mom was 5'3". And here I am, 5'8". I was the shortest on every team I played for, but I was also the cutest. Word up. Had a dream. Had a lot of obstacles in my life, because whatever you want to do in life, there are going to be obstacles. Number one, I grew up in poverty. We were so broke, if you tried to rob us, you'd be practicing. I grew up in a Lutheran church, and it was just boring. I never wanted to go to church. I'd wake up and be like, Mama, I ain't going to church. What time we leaving? I'm ready. I'll be in the car. So I was a hurting kid. So my dad was a cop, but my dad was he was really abusive. And my mom never told me she loved me. But the crazy thing, we went to church every Sunday. See, but just because you go to church doesn't make you a Christian. Just like being in a garage doesn't make you a car. You might be confused and don't know who you are. That's my rap. So what I want to do is I want to show you some little inspirations through basketball, and you'll understand what I'm saying. So I can get my man here. Can you come? And then Taylor Swift, can you come? Taylor Swift. And can I get the guy right there, John Morant, right there? Yeah, John Morant. No, the black guy. Yeah, you're. Yeah. John Morant. Let me see. So let me ask you this. So what grade is this right here? Is this? Okay, and then this is 5th. That's 5th grade, and then what is this? 8th. That's 8th grade? Okay, and then what's 7th? Okay, so y'all are SpongeBob. Okay, cool, all right. Okay, so I got Taylor Swift, Shorty Doo-Wop. Okay, let me see. Look over the scene. Okay, let me get a little girl here. Okay, sleeps in her mom's purse. She's little. Okay. And then, you know what, let me get that guy because he was coming. Yeah, John Wick. Okay, cool. All right, okay, so, see, I believe like so many kids today, they said that when my son was in kindergarten, there was a guy named James Dobson. He said that at that time, he said 80% of young people don't even go to church. At that time, my son was in kindergarten. He said by the time my son is a senior in high school, only 1%. Because I think a lot of times we get in church and our butt be so tight, Moses couldn't party. Okay, believe in the Lord. Like there's no joy, no passion. It's the reason why most kids don't want to come to church because it's just so dead. I don't think that Jesus just walked around, I'm just happy to be here. Jesus was excited everywhere he went. He was passionate. He was changing lives everywhere he went. And the key point of it is you're going to see through it is love. You'll understand that. So I don't know how you guys are taught here in Louisiana, but in Texas, my mom always taught me that girls go first in everything. So we had to open the doors for the girls. We couldn't eat till they ate because, girls get mad like, you know? But if you give them some chocolate, they'll be cool. Like, is that Hershey's? So we're going to get the two girls. We're going to get Taylor Swift. Taylor Swift's right here. Right here. Shorty Doo-Wop, you're going to come right here. Okay. All right, right there. Okay, yeah, right there. Okay, Peter Parker, you're going to come right here. All right, John Wick right here. And Black Panther, you're going to go in the back. Okay, cool. All right. Now, I want you to know, I'm going to tell you why I picked these kids. Just walking in, just kind of seeing. I picked this girl because we're the same height, and I could totally relate to her. Paul says you got to become all things, all men, that in some way you can reach them, right? I picked this girl because she has a beautiful smile and her breath smells like Colgate. I picked this guy because he looks nervous, like, ah! He's scared. He's just nervous. But see, in order to be great, you got to be willing to be stretched. I picked this guy because he's real cool. He's like, what's up? And I picked this guy because he's black. But anyway, we're going to do these tricks. Let's motivate. We're going to build up. We're going to enlighten. And we're going to talk about a few things I'm going to talk about today. Just what you're going to see here is a lot of life lessons in life, because I believe that God put you on earth to do something really great. But there's an enemy who comes and talks to your mind all the time, tells you how good you're not good enough, you don't have what it takes. And think about this, when I tell people, most places that I go into like corporations, public schools. I'm never shocked when they look at me and go, man, we thought you were going to be taller. But what gets me is the church. And yeah, we read the Bible every day about David and Goliath, about, Gideon. He only had like 300 people against over 300,000. God always uses ordinary people to do extraordinary things, and we keep thinking the same way the world thinks. That's how we think. I got to be 6'8". No, you don't. Because if I was 6'8", I never would have been here. I probably wouldn't know the Lord like I do. So he uses those things. So we're going to do these tricks. So you're going to go last because you're awesome, okay? And then your name is? Julia. You sounded like Chewbacca in here. Like, Julia. Julia. Okay, Julia. Julia, I'm going to do a trick. No, you're going to stay there, Julia. You're going to get right there, yeah. I'm going to do a trick, Julia, and I want you to do what I do, and we believe you. Now, listen, there are going to be a lot of life lessons. Let me tell you one of them. What happens in life is that loud people want quiet people to talk more, and quiet people want loud people to shut up. And everybody's trying to make you be who they want you to be because it's a control thing, right? But you have to be you. And it takes a lot. Don't think, most of you look at me and you see me up here talking now, but I was a very shy kid. Most of you wouldn't believe that because I have diarrhea of the mouth. But what happened was I got around people who stretched me. See, most of us don't want to be stretched. We just want to be comfortable. Most of you here can make straight A's, but you don't want to do it because everybody's going to go, you think you're Jimmy Neutron. You don't want to make F's because everybody's going to tease you. So we learn how to make C's, and we just float through life. We marry people we don't love. We work at jobs we don't like, and that's why there's no joy. That's why most people don't even want to come to. Let me give you a little point here. Before I came here to Houma, about 3 weeks when we got this stuff all together, 3 weeks before I came here, I called every church in this town. Crickets. Nobody called. I could call any school and say, hey, I'm a Globetrotter, play in the NBA. They'll call me right back. But the church, think about that. And we wonder why most people we're not effective in the world. Because we have our own little gang. I'm the Baptist, I'm the Lutheran, I'm the Episcopalian. And we stay so separated and we don't know how to get into the world. So as a Christian, I'm able to go into every public school in your area. Why? Not because I say I got my degree in youth ministry. It's because they love basketball. And I use basketball as my bait to get into these schools and speak biblical principles through comedy. Think about that. right? Because all we think is you got to be a pastor, youth pastor. No, we need Christians in Bank of America. We need Christians in Chase. We need Christians as policemen. We need them all over the world. So stop putting God in a box and thinking he can only do these certain things. He wants to break out of that. He was never meant to be put in a box. So when I look at Taylor Swift and I did the trick, little bitty things, she was like, ooh. Because she's scared, because she's worried about what all of y'all think. But if you worry about what people think, you'll never reach your destiny. You know how many people told me I wouldn't? My own mom told me I wouldn't make it. My own mom. You would think your mom would be like, go, babe, I love you. No. And my mom went to church every Sunday. She sang in the choir. Not good, but she sang. If she sang, the Holy Spirit would have left. You hear what I'm saying? So we're going to do this trick, Julie, real quick. What you're going to do, you're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Ready? Okay. All right, Julie, here we go. Here we go. So you're going to get your hands ready. The ball is coming. It's coming. I'm telling you, it's coming. If it hits you, I'm going to laugh. I'm going to help you. Okay, here we go. So Julie, go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Here we go. See what you got. Thank you. Your husband helped you out. Thank you. Appreciate it. Here we go. Here we go. Okay. So you're going to round the waist. You got it. I'm going to talk you through it. You scared? Okay, just fake it like that. Can you fake that? Like you fake like a pass? And then kick it off your knee like that. Like there we go. There you go. Kick it off right off your knee, right to me. Here we go. Good job, yes! Give it up for my girl, Julie, yes! Now you're gonna stay right here. I'm gonna use that now. Now, see, there are lessons. There are lessons. You guys are gonna see a lot of things, and hopefully it'll open up your eyes to be more kingdom-minded. Because there are people right next to you, to your left and your right, your front and your back, they're hurting. In your generation, there are more mental health and suicides in your generation than we have ever seen. Seems like the world gets it, but the church are missing out on it. And we're the ones supposedly are the ones supposed to have all the answers. Think about that. So we have to really check our heart, because we can become very arrogant and prideful and miss out on the whole point. This is all going to make sense in a minute. Well, your name is?
William.
William. Okay, William. William, what you going to do, William? You're going to roll the ball here, round the back, knee, foot, back. You got it, William. You the man. Here we go. So you're going to roll it here. Sweet. I love it. I love it. Nice. And you go around the back. There you go. Nice. You go off the knee. Uh-oh. There you go. Oh, you the man. Off the foot. William, you my hero. Round the back. Can I have your autograph? Okay, then you go hit off your elbow. Yeah, you hit the ball to me though. Good job, yes, give it up for my boy William. Now, hold on, William. William is gonna be successful in whatever he does. He wasn't afraid, he was like, who's your daddy? He's confident, he wasn't shy, he was like, do I look good? He didn't care about none of y'all, he was focused, he was looking, do it, I can do it. He will be successful. See, that's a guy, a great faith. Kind of reminds me of David and Goliath. When most people see Goliath, they go, "Ow! Ow!" But David was nobody, he was a little bitty dude. When nobody saw who he was working out. He was getting ready, he was taking care of sheep. He was fighting lions, bears. So when he saw Goliath, he wasn't like, oh my God. Goliath picked him up, who's your daddy? No. See, when you spend time with God, you become confident, not cocky, but confident. There was no obstacle that I faced that I ever was afraid. Don't get me wrong, I am a human. I do get scared. I'm scared of roaches and alligators. So give it up for my boy, William. Good job, William. That was awesome. Good job. You're going to come over here with. Now, this is...
Xander.
Xander, really is a trick, Xander. What you going to do, Xander? You're going to roll this ball on your chest, right? Round the back. Between the legs, okay? Here we go. So, Xander, you're going to come here. Here. Twice. Hit it for me, Xander. You got it. Okay, there you go, almost. Here we go. That was good. Then round the back. There you go. Okay, and then you're going to bounce it, catch it, Height! Good job. Nice. There you go. Then you keep it there. Then you're going to just hit it to me like that. Okay, here we go. Thank you, Black Panther. Here we go. Good job. Give it up for my boy, Xander. Yes. I love it. It's going to all come back, make sense. It's going to make sense. This is...
Kurt.
Kurt? Courage. His name's Courage. Courage. Is it Courage?
Kurt.
Oh, Custard. Okay, cool. I didn't know what he... Okay. Kurt. Really is a trick, Kurt. What you going to do, Kurt? You're going to turn towards that way, not now, but when you're about to do your trick. Round the waist twice. Right there. Here you go, Kurt. So you're going to turn this way, Kurt. Yeah. There you go, Kurt. You got it. Here we go. Good job. Give it to my boy, Kurt. Yes. Kurt, thank you, Kurt. Appreciate that. Now, what's your name? Can you hold it for me? What's your name?
Vea.
Zaya. Okay, is it Vea or Zaya?
Vea.
Vea, okay, Vea. What I'm gonna do, Vea, is I'm gonna spin the ball on your finger. Man, you strong, you've been lifting weights. Okay. Okay, Vea, I'm gonna spin the ball on your finger. Yeah, you gonna, yeah. Now, Vea, do you believe I can spin the ball on your finger?
Kinda.
Okay, that was really motivating. Let's ask her again. Do you believe?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yes. Philippians 4:13 says that you can do all things. Didn't say some. Didn't say you can do schoolwork, but you can't spin a ball on your finger. It says you can do all things through Christ who gives you strength. Do we really believe that, or do we just say it? We read the Bible, do we just read it, or do we really believe what we're reading? Because the same God in the Old Testament is the same God who wants to do the same things in this generation. Jesus, before he left, he said, you will do greater things than I ever did, because I got to go to the Father, but my Spirit is going to come. But we really don't believe that. We just read it because it's just another mythical story, and that same God doesn't want to do those same things. Now, Vea, before I do it, there's a couple of things wrong with your finger. Okay, you got to file it down a little bit. Okay. Was that peanut butter? Okay, here we go. Here we go, Vea. All right, Vea, you want to know why I picked you? Because I love you. Why did I pick you? Because I love you. Say that. You love me? Hold on. Give it up for my girl. Y'all can sit back. Thank y'all so much. I appreciate it. Give it up for my young people. Now here's my story. Here's a couple of Bible verses that I love. One of the stories I really love is David and Goliath, right? David and Goliath was kind of like my story. So I grew up as a kid. I wanted to play basketball. Again, my dad was 6'6", brothers was 6'8", 6'7", 6'2", and I would tell my mom. My mom would say, what do you want to be? I said, Mom, I want to play in the NBA. Baby, you're too little. Even as parents, you know what I mean? Like, we want to protect our kids so much, because the reality of we say we trust God, but we really don't. We live in fear. We really think God is here to like destroy our lives, but in Jeremiah 29, it says he has plans to prosper you and not to harm you. What does that mean? God doesn't just say, I'm going to destroy your life. I want you to, I mean, what kind of God are we listening to? Like, we think we're so negative that we just see God in those same things, but God wants to do some great things in your life. So let me tell you my story. I grew up in Houston, Texas, and went to church every Sunday. Right? We went to church. That's what we did. Church was really whack. It was boring to me. The pastor was boring. He didn't never talk about real issues that I think people are facing today, because we try to stay all biblical as if God isn't concerned about that. You think about the woman at the well. You know the story? Y'all read about the story, right? Here's this lady coming. Jesus is chilling, right? And he didn't ask that lady what church she went to or how long she'd been saved. The question was, you've been married 5 times. What's up with that? Like, he cares more about your character, like, you know what I mean? So here's my question. I'm growing up as a kid. My dad was a cop. My dad was very abusive. We went to church every Sunday, so I want you to hear that. We went to church every Sunday and Wednesday. My dad was beating my mom every day. Not only was he beating my mom, he was beating my brothers, he was beating me. We went to church every Sunday. I want you to hear that. My mom never told me she loved me. If I got an 89, she would say, you should have got a 90. If I got a 90, I should have got a 91. If I got 100, that's what I should have got. We went to church every Sunday. I hope you hear what I'm saying. So I want you to see how the world sees us, and that's exactly why I started doing what I'm doing. I never heard I love you, and we went to church every Sunday. So I was a very angry kid. I would see abuse at home, verbally and physically, and I was coming to school, and I'd be honest with you, I didn't really want to be here. I was very suicidal. There was no covenant Christian, no pretty eyelashes come and talk. But I had a principal who was just like this lady, like Proverbs 32, because 31 can't hold her. Right here. Had a principal just like this amazing lady. This lady, she woke up every day. My high school principal was a Christian lady. She didn't tell everybody. She didn't walk around with "What would Jesus do" shirt. She just lived it, because anybody can talk it. She lived it. She came to me every day. She would say, "Hey, you're awesome." I didn't even know what that meant. Where I grew up, black kids don't walk around going, "Leroy, you're awesome." I didn't even know what that meant. She said, you're amazing. I said, I'm not Spider-Man. She gave me my first birthday party. She didn't give me a Bible verse. She gave me a birthday party. I was blown away. I went from making all F's to being on the honor roll, to being the first one to graduate from college in my family. My high school coach, he drove me to one of the richest areas, and the houses looked like her face. They looked awesome. I grew up around drugs and gangs. That's all I saw. But this coach took me to this rich area. He said, do you know you can live in a house like that? There was a TV show back in the day called MTV Cribs. I was on that show twice because two Christian teachers simply spoke, life and death is in the power of your tongue. Life and death, you can speak things into your life. If you keep saying you're a loser, that's exactly how you're going to walk around, and nobody's going to want to hang around with you except for losers, because they're going to be drawn to that spirit. But if you wake up every day like William and go, I'm short, but I'm strong and I'm good looking, everybody's going to be around him. He's going to do great things because he believes. He doesn't doubt. Vienna sausage, her. She's going to do great things. She's going to get married and have 2 kids with an adopted baby from Africa named Simba. That was me. I heard that story, and it literally changed my life. I got saved, man, and I started preaching at 17. I went to a Christian college. I got my degree in youth ministry and Bible theology. So I wanted to preach. I wanted to get up here and preach and be like, is he the pastor of this? Okay? He's the principal? Okay, I felt this holiness when I walked in. Oh! Yeah, I wanted to grow up and be like him and sit up here and the Lord, that's what I wanted to do. And God said, no, I'm going to use you to do something different. He started taking me around the world playing basketball. How can you share Jesus with a basketball? Very simple. We just went to a school that was like the worst kids in y'all's town. They're the rejects. Nobody wants them. They've had drug problems. They've been kicked out of school. How many churches in town go, hey, let's think about a school to go to. Let's go to the Taps. No. The Christian schools say, nope, let's just go to another Christian school where we all look alike and talk alike. But if you want to be a believer, you want to reach the world, Jesus didn't say come and just sit. He said go. What does that mean? So I started playing professionally, and my spiritual father sat me down. He said, Melvin, you have a gift. I said, what do you mean? You're going to give me a gift? He said, you have a gift. He said, you know how to make people laugh? So you're going to go into comedy clubs. Comedy clubs, what do you mean? Those where the heathens go. No. You're going to go in with a different purpose. You're going to make them laugh with a purpose. He said, you're going to go into public schools. What do you mean public schools? That's not a church. No, I don't want you to go there. I want you to go into public schools because none of my people are going. What do you mean by that? My people go eat at restaurants, they pray for their food, and they don't even leave a tip. My people come to church every day, and there are more divorces in the church than outside of it. These are my people, and the world are looking at us. I'm going to need you to do something different. How many of us would be obedient to hear the call and do exactly what he said? So I started going to schools. The doors started opening up. It was crazy. We started seeing life change. It was my son's school. He was in the middle school. And in school, there was a new kid. His name was Zach. And I believe that Zach is at this school here, even at a Christian school. There are a lot of you here at a Christian school who still feel alone. And you've memorized Hebrews 13:5, which says, I'll never leave you nor forsake you. We read that, but we don't really believe it. There are a lot of you here who still feel alone. Listen, when God comes back, there's going to be a lot of judgment, but you know who's going to judge first? The church, because we're the ones. We're the goofy ones. We don't get it. We're so arrogant, we don't even see it. We think it's the world. It ain't us. A lot of stuff that we see in the world is because of things we're not doing. We've dropped the ball, but we can change it because God is a God of restoration and reconciliation. He wants to build up what's been torn down and bring back what's been lost. Right? And so I go to this school, my son's school, and my principal, he calls me the Black Harry Potter, but I don't know magic. He says, hey, what I want you to do is I want to give you these kids. It was a new kid. His name was Zach. And Zach was a kid like all of y'all would walk in, and Zach would be the kid kind of walking like that. If you're tunnel vision, you won't even see it. If you go to cemetery or seminary, you won't even see it because you're just trying to think of the next scripture. But if you're people, you love people, you watch, you look, you notice little things. You notice little things. Confidence, courage. You notice little things. You look. Not in judgment, you look. Because I came here today to bring healing. Jesus didn't just come so we'll be saved. He also came that we would be set free. There are a lot of us in bondage. They're still saved. Zach, he says, I'll give you your own room. I said, I'll do it. So I didn't sit in the room like most of us. We just sit and we want to read our Bible verses and get on our Bible. No, forget that. Sit in the front row. I saw Zach come and go, Zach, what's up? Zach, what's up? Before you come in the room, Zach, you got to read what it says on the front of the door. And you could tell that Zach read, and he goes, nothing but positive attitudes enter in. I said, well, Zach, you got to give me a smile or something. He goes, and he walked into the back of the room, which is what he always did. And how I start the class is I have a block. This is my cell phone, but I have a block. And this block says, I am destined for greatness. So I'll read it. I'll go, I'm destined for greatness. And I'll give it to Big Daddy William and go, you're destined for greatness. And then I'll give it to his wife, destined for greatness. And then I'll give, And so it went on to about the seventh kid. You could see Zach in the back. His head came up. He had this look on his face like, did I just join a cult? When the block got to Zach, Zach looked at the block. He looked at me. He looked at me. He looked at the block, looked at me. And Zach asked a question, like many of you may be asking today. He said, I am destined for greatness. All the kids started looking back before it all weird. I said, Zach, you're awesome, man. Your mama was a terrorist because you the bomb. This went on September, October, November. In December, when Zach got the block, Zach stood up. He raised the block in the air, and I ducked because I know the signs. And he yelled out, I am destined for greatness. I am destined for greatness. Zach went from being the most unpopular kid to being the most popular kid in the school simply because of words. Here's the challenge to you. Jana Como, she called me. She said, hey, man, want to come back to Houma? Sweet. 3 weeks, maybe 3 weeks, a month, I knew I was coming. I got on the phone, looked up every church in Houma. Now, I'm going to tell you something good, though. This was the only church that called me back. Yeah. Dylan Johnson. Guy's name is Dylan Johnson. I don't know who he is. But he was the only one that called me back. I called this is Houma, like everybody know everybody. People know you broke up before you did. I Googled Houma, and Google said, are you serious? One church called. Said, hey, man, it was kind of last minute. We'd love to come. So let me tell you what's been going on here at school. We've been speaking at all these schools, man. And every night for the last 2 nights, I've been going to bed at 1:30 because kids your age have been DMing me on Instagram. All night, DMing me. It's just going, my parents got a divorce. I'm hurting. Thank you for coming and inspiring me. See, look at that. We may look at that and go, well, it's not in the church. What are we here for? And I know some of y'all are young. You don't get it now. You're still young. Just go to a good school. You get to see really cool teachers. But when you start getting older, you start realizing, God gave you a gift, gave me to play basketball, not so that I can walk around and go, who's your daddy? Hank Bank. He gave me that because I'm able to get through the doors that I wouldn't have got if I was a youth pastor. Not that there's anything wrong with that, but it allows me to get into the door. And this was the number one question that I get from kids your age. They go, how is it that you're so upbeat, so positive? Most of you wouldn't even know that happened to me because you just saw me and you thought I was a successful athlete. But in that same situation, there are kids right next to you that are hurting. Just because you go to a Christian school, you guys may drive a Lexus, but you got $2 worth of gas in it, but it looks good on the outside because we're all about perception. You know what I mean? Jesus didn't just come just to cut the weeds. He came to deal with the roots. And that was me. And the question was, why is it that you're so driven? Why did you shoot 3,000 jump shots every day? If you're a workaholic, you think, it's all about work. No. I just wanted my mom to say she loved me. I never heard that. 22 years, my whole life, my mom never told me she loved me. So I became successful, became an All-American, had scored 17 points against Jordan. Of course, he had 49 on me, but we won. Got to do a lot of great things. Oprah, got to meet all these really cool people. But when my mom told me she loved me at 22, none of that even mattered. Some of you young people today have probably never heard the word, and this sounds crazy, that I love you. At a Christian school. How arrogant and prideful we become. We wonder why we're not affecting the world, wonder why a lot of things would have been different if a lot of things wouldn't have happened. I think that a lot of people prayed and we got another chance to do some things right. We took our foot off the gas, we started being friendly to everybody, and we started going far, far left. We'd have been living in Sodom and Gomorrah, but we don't see that because we're just sitting in the church, we want to be cool, we don't want to hurt nobody. And I'm not saying you go out and just go, get it right, you don't do that. But you think about that. Why are you so happy? Why are you so upbeat? So I'll tell you this how it happened. When I was growing up playing basketball, I gambled. All right, I played this game called Madden. I'm really good in Madden. Like, I've never lost in Madden. Like, I'm really good. I'm like her face. I'm good. My son Seth is watching me. I'm playing these dudes online, like in France. Bonjour, oui, oui, pee, ha, ha. And so one day, me and Seth would start playing the game, and I'm beating him. I'm beating him bad. I'm like, who's your daddy? He was like, you. And I'd run in his room and go, hey, Seth, look what I found in your pocket. Loser! He started crying. Boogers and snot was everywhere. From 6 to 8, he never wanted to play me. But, like, I guess he went on Google. He learned how to play the game. And at 8, I came home. He goes, hey, Daddy, you want to play Madden? I said, you want some of this? He was like, Daddy, I want all of that. So we're playing the game first quarter. He's whooping me 35 to nothing. And he's all in my face like, who's your daddy? And I'm like, you. He's running in my room like, Dad, look what I found in your wallet. Capital One and loser. He was all in my face. His breath was funky. He needed an Altoid, a Tic Tac, and some bubble gum. He was so condescending. He was talking trash. I got mad. I walked away, and I accidentally tripped over the power cord. The TV cut off, the game cut off, but I plugged the TV up, turned the TV on, and I pressed restart, and it was 0-0. And I say that to say that many of you in the first half of your life, maybe you've been getting beat down, maybe verbally, maybe emotionally, maybe physically, but every day is a new day to press restart. See, there was a story about an island, and on this island, whenever a man wanted to marry a woman, he would pay for that woman in cows. And there was no woman on this island who would ever receive more than 5 cows. So the decree went out. The king was a short guy, kind of good looking, kind of like myself, you know. And he's looking for his wife, which is probably the second greatest decision you'll ever make in your life. Besides salvation, who are you going to spend the rest of your life with? So the king said, I'm going to go home, I'm going to pray, I'm going to fast, I'll come back and I'll negotiate about how many cows I'm going to pay for your daughter. So the king leaves and all the women came to the girl and they go, he's not going to marry you because you're ugly. I mean, you are the ugliest girl on the island. She had hairy armpits. Looked like she had 2 black dudes with an afro and a headlock. She had teeth in her gums. She had eyebrows that crossed. She was the ugliest girl alive. Girls teased her all the time. They said, that dude ain't gonna marry you, girl. You ugly. You got only reason we like you because we snick Snicker bars in your armpit when we go to the movie. And you know when somebody starts telling you ain't pretty enough, if you're not smart enough, you don't have what it takes, after a while, you start to believe it. King comes back, he said, I prayed about it, I'm gonna give you 13 cows for your daughter. They fell out. They had to get him back up, say, listen, man, if I've offended you, I'll give you 21 cows for your daughter. So the story goes, they get married. About a year goes by, the dad hears the daughter and son-in-law back in town. He goes to see her, and he knocks on the door, and this girl opened the door. She looked like Halle Berry, Cameron Diaz, and your teacher wrote in a tortilla, muy bonita. He said, what a kingdom, that this king would have beautiful women as his maids, but I came here for my daughter. You know, the ugly girl. She was on Jurassic Park. She goes, Father, it's me. It's me. See, as funny as that story is, it's the same gospel message that's been preached for over 2,000 years. And then we all feel ugly. We all feel like, how can God use somebody like me? How many of you here have done some things in your life that you know God has forgiven you, but you can't forgive yourself? Anybody like that? I know, we walk around with guilt and condemnation, not even realizing that over 2,000 years ago, Jesus knew everything we were going to do from the day we were born to the day we're going to die, and yet he still died for you, and he died for me. But the cool thing about God is that he doesn't give up on us where we are, because he knows what we're going to become. That's why he's patient with us right where we're at. It's amazing as parents, sometimes we get mad because you may get your ears pierced. But we got our ears pierced when we was in school. It blows my mind. We tell you to make your bed and we don't even make our bed. See how crazy that sounds? How arrogant it is, but we don't even see it because when you're prideful, you never see you. It's just easy to look at everybody else. And the day is God is not looking to the person to the left or to the right of you in front of that. He's talking to you. Forget about the person to the left. Focus on me. You know what I mean? That's you. See, just like God and just like the king went to the lady. He said, you know what? You do have hairy armpits, I ain't gonna lie. But you got some nice arms. She starts shaving them off. Gummy bears and Twinkies start coming out. He said, you know, your eyebrows, they kind of thick. But you got some nice eyes. She starts shaving them off. He said, you have teeth in your gums. He goes, are you from Morgan City? He said, well, when you smile, you brighten up my day. She went to orthodontist, got it hooked up, and everywhere she went, people thought she was off the chain. See, that happened to me. Over 25 years ago, man, I made a decision. I gave my life to Christ, and it wasn't just some things that I said with my mouth. It was something that I started living out in my own life. There's a guy in the back. His name is Steve Ponville. He has a black jacket. You can see him in the back. He just turned and looked. When I first started coming to Houma, he didn't know me. I started coming there speaking, and I realized in Houma, all y'all do, y'all eat a lot in Houma. Like, there's all y'all, and it's all fried. Steve started taking me around. He was watching me. See, because you're saying people watch you. You can talk and people watch you. The only reason I'm here at this school, because it was something that I did years ago, and this lady saw it. And she was the only one at a Christian school that spoke up and said, hey, we got to have him here. And who could not look in her eyes and go, whatever you want? She was the only one. She fought because she remembered years ago. That was years ago. She still remembered it. Impact. And it wasn't at a church. It wasn't at a Christian event. It was at a public school. And she saw me and she said, you know what? I hear him. I hear some of his, his tones. That's a Christian dude. I shouldn't have to tell you I'm a Christian. You should see it in everything that I do. When I first walked in, I didn't walk in like a diva. I started high-fiving people like, he's short like me. Is that William's dad? I just started high-fiving, giving you celebrity names, and y'all were like, really, Taylor Swift? Called him Black Panther. He's like, yeah, Wakanda. That's all I did. Didn't do anything special, just loved on people. It's different because you get the same thing. We get up, all right, kids, Galatians 2:20. I've been crucified with Christ, therefore I know no longer. Come on, serious? We're all different, but come on, man, it should be something about your life. It should be some kind of passion or something. When I talk about my wife, I don't go, well, I got married. I saw her, and she was pretty. Oh, I saw my wife, man. I was like, the Lord is my shepherd. He know what I want. Hey. I took her to a beach in Galveston, Texas. I put a white piano on the beach. I got 11 of my best friends, gave them all white tuxedos, gave each of them one white rose. And as I played her song, each guy brought her a rose. We took a helicopter to a building downtown Houston. I had a table set up. She liked Subway sandwich, 6-inch turkey on wheat, everything but bell pepper. She liked her coffee black like her man. Put the ring in the sandwich. She didn't eat it, but she said yes. Took her to the movie, about 3,000 roses. While I waiting for the movie to come on, all these guys started bringing the roses. I said, hey, who gave the roses? Was it William? Because I know he was checking you out. I was mad. I walked the movie theater. I grabbed the mic. I've spoken in front of 8 million kids. I don't get nervous. But I was sweating like Mike Tyson in a spelling bee contest. You know what I mean? And I stood on that stage. I said, I want to thank my girlfriend, my fiance, for saying yes. It's been 24 years, 13 days, 13 hours, 12 minutes, about 39 seconds. Nobody's counting. I got 2 boys. They are amazing. And when my wife was pregnant, every day I'd go to my wife's stomach and I would speak positive words. I would say, my son's going to be a drug dealer. I didn't say that. I said, my son's going to do something great. My son graduated from high school, a class of 900 students with a 4.8 GPA. My youngest son, pray for me. How do you get kicked out of school online? Online? But you know what? He's doing so much better. Why do I tell that story? I tell that story, listen, God has a plan for you all young people. This is, for me coming here to Houma, I love speaking in the schools, I do. But this is where it all started. But Jesus said, shake the dust off your feet and move to the next place. And if you even read about Jesus, you notice that he was only in the church probably twice, because the church was a very place that killed him. He would rather go out into the street because those people are real. They want hope. Here, we feel like we kind of deserve it. So I pray today, as you go throughout the day, as you come to this great school, you get to wear nice outfits, look cute. Look cute, look at you, William, tight. You get to wear these cool outfits. You get really cool teachers. You got like my girl Jennifer Aniston here. You got Drew Barrymore. You can get some Clairol. You got my girl Sandra Bullock. She helped a black kid play football. You got Smiles in the back. You got your principal, Moses. He carried Moses' staff. He was like, I got you, Moses. I'll meet you across the other side. He dated Abraham Lincoln's daughter. What I'm saying is he's been here before. That's what I'm saying. He's been here a long time, got a lot of wisdom. If you're a young girl and you want to know how to be a great godly woman, a Proverbs 31, maybe 32, because 31 can't hold you, you probably want to hang with this lady. She'll teach you how to put that thing on your eye like that. Woo! It was awesome. If you're a guy, you want to grow up to be a godly man, You can hang with Moses. He's been here since 1917. He is 98 years old and he still looks 28. You cannot fail with that guy. But when you're here and you're walking to school, I hope it's your heart and your prayer that you would use these things you're learning here, not just for the church, but being able to get out of the walls, because there's a world out there that need exactly what y'all have. There's about 15 kids who need exactly what you guys are learning. They've lost hope. Their world is dark. And we're supposed to be the light of the world. Let us not get so caught up in the walls. The walls are cool, but I don't want to live in here. It was never meant. Jesus was never about the walls. He was about going out to a world that's screaming out. Suicide is on an all-time high. Parents are divorcing. They need what you young people having. You're still young. You still just graduated from SpongeBob, so you're still learning. But soak up all the things you can learn. I mean, read all the books, the NIV, the Negro International Version, the New American Standard. I mean, read it all. King James, if you can understand that. And you get all that knowledge, and when you get it all, then you become like SpongeBob, and then you just start wringing it out to the world, and we'll change the world together. But listen, I want to thank you so much for letting me speak to you, and I want to thank Miss Amazing over here for letting Moses let me know I was here, and Dylan Johnson is here. Tell him I love him, and I appreciate him. He said he was going to call me, but he's just like my dad. He never did. But anyway, listen, I love you guys. You have a great day. I'll talk to you later.
Today's social media segment is brought to you by Terrebonne General Health System. Your health is our legacy. Rouse's, you're either local or you're not. Buick, the craft of modern luxury. St. Martin and Bourke, know your rights.